they call it like the Heart Month. So we decided to focus our program this afternoon with heart health. The first part of the program will be a Bible game to be led by Luigi, my sister. And the next part would be just a short talk about heart health. I chose to focus on myocardial infarction, or what we call heart attack. So this is going to be a kind of like a discussion. So if you have any more informations later on about heart attack, you're more than welcome to share it. But yeah, I'll give the microphone to my sister Luigi as she leads the Bible game.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So we've been doing our afternoon program quite regularly now, which is really good. And we always have Bible games or Bible quizzes. So to warm us up this afternoon, so I prepared a game for us. It's a famous game. Does anybody know the game Pictionary? Yes. So we're playing a Bible Pictionary. So I have prepared some, because Michelle mentioned that February is month of heart. So I have prepared some Bible characters and scenarios in this cup about love, about relationship, not just romantic relationship, but loyal, any kind of love. The Bible, it mentions love at least 300, 500 times. So, and I see the Bible as a love story, if you agree. So, yeah, the game, since we are already sat in two groups, do you agree where you are at the moment? This is first group and then the second group. Yes? Yeah. It's a short game, so we can have more time for our discussion. So, would you like to have a trial, or does anybody know how it works? So basically, one of you will pick a paper, and instead of acting it, because that's what we usually do, we usually have a game like charades, or we draw it here. Yes. So it doesn't. It's a bit tricky, but you cannot write letters or numbers. You can draw. It doesn't matter if you can draw. You can draw stickman. You can draw things that gives you clue about the people here. So we can have a trial. Who wants to draw? Yeah. Do you want to draw? Yeah. Yeah. Calais? Yeah. This is just a trial, just so to give us some idea. No. So this is just a trial. So you can come here, and then everybody can guess. So this is not counted. So this is a story in the Bible. You cannot write words. You cannot write letters. guys, I can give you a clue. So this person is her.
I think two people there is one person.
All of it was connected.
Okay.
All of them connected.
Three. Two.
Oh my goodness.
This Jesus.
Is that a big
So they're traveling. Yep.
they put some like that.
Yeah. There you go.
That's supposed to be a donkey.
Yes. So I can give clue as well. This will be time. I'll give you a minute. 2 minutes.
How are the scores determined? How do you know which side gets it? Is it the side that answers correctly? Or
Sorry.
how do we know who gets the points?
No. So we will be playing by groups. So each go, you can choose whoever's doing the throwing, and then that group will.
So if this side guesses it,
Yes, it will be your score. If you're, so we'll be timing it at least 2 minutes. Do we have time for 2 minutes? 1 minute. And then if you're not able to guess it, the other group can guess it. So we're just going to do a couple of this because I think it's a bit tricky. But we got the first one. All right, who wants to go first? Which group? Oh, it's children. All right. Yes. Who wants? Do you have any? Who wants to volunteer? Who wants to draw? You can. I don't think they can. They can reach. Yeah. Shayna. So this. Yeah. You will have to draw for. Yeah. So who wants to pick? Yep, just the one. Just the one.
And then you discuss there.
And just the one, so we can do the next thing, yeah? So it's a
Just stay there.
you can stay there. Stay here. So this is these are Bible characters. That's the first clue.
Ready?
You can't
Character,
say it.
yeah.
It starts now.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. We have to time it. Yep. Timers. Okay, starts now. Can you see from the back?
I don't know you. Okay. Oh, two girls.
In Old Testament.
The table. Is that a table? A sheep.
This group should guess first because yeah. Not everyone. You got your own go.
So there's a house, there's two girls and a sheep.
I think that group guessed it already, but how long have we got left?
Time's up.
Okay, that's
Is the characters two girls or two boys?
Girls.
all right. 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3. There you go. Yeah, Ruth and Naomi. So can you explain what's?
These two are traveling over to the place where they're going.
Yeah.
But since you couldn't guess
who wants to have a go on this second group? Who wants to draw?
Nora.
Oh,
So he's picked for you, sorry. So then I think the children will get to pick now. So, okay.
ready, start.
Timer starts now, yeah?
One eight, two eight.
We can see.
Yeah. Sorry.
2%.
No, not quite. Not quite. No, it's in there. Coming towards us.
How you
No, I'm just trying to.
In New Testament. Not me.
The wedding.
Let's see, how do this? So it's that's
The manager.
Yeah, Mary and Joseph, yeah.
good?
point for us.
Yeah. Is that another and a half? Is it two?
Okay, 1 point for group 1, 1 point for group 2.
Yeah, 1 point for group 1, 1 point for group 2. Next, group 1, who wants to have a go?
So these are all characters, right?
Yeah.
People's names.
Sorry?
People.
Don't pick a
There, I put some scenarios as well, but I'll let you know if they're characters or scenarios, so just give you a view.
I need to think about it.
Okay.
Alright, timer starts now. It's in New Testament. Oh, sorry, Old Testament. Old Testament. So they are Bible characters.
Too quick. 1, 2, 3. Jacob goes down.
One, two, three, four, five, six. Wrong. Jacob, man.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Sorry? No.
Joseph.
5 seconds. 2, 1. Time's up.
But you said both names now.
Jacob and Joseph.
But we said Jacob.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think an hour, a
It's a
minute.
lot of drawing. Get quiet.
Okay, so that's the source to pick it out.
Yeah, okay. Hang on a minute, kids. Is that okay? That's the old one, right? Okay. Right. So who wants to have a go on this side? You, okay, I think I just did, okay. Who wants to, you have to give it to whoever, where it's coming from.
Whoa. Give it to me. Okay. 1 minute. Okay.
All right. Timer starts now. So it's in New Testament and it's a scenario. It's a New Testament and it's a scenario. So it's something that we do here as well. We at church.
Washing of feet. Communion.
No,
Washing my feet.
they should. No, it's not you.
It's us.
It's you, yeah.
Time, 5 seconds.
But
We're not
4,
yeah.
3,
We're
1.
not
wash your feet. Yes.
Zero.
Yeah,
Yeah. They tried to mention it. Washing feet.
yeah. Washing the feet of Jesus, right?
Time is up.
Yes. Okay.
With perfume.
The time's up.
Good, George.
So this is washing your feet.
Wait.
Sorry, I'm just got confused with all the
Yes.
yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, we're finding it. Okay, so group 2.
You have ear.
it's 1 minute.
Yeah.
Group 2. So if Ian gets this one, I'm gonna have to draw it, and then that would be the tiebreaker. If you get this one, okay.
He's not going to.
Okay.
Wait.
It's an easy one, isn't it?
Oh, wait, you're not.
Right, it's in Old Testament. It's they're Bible characters. Yeah.
Oh, I know this one. Okay. Abraham, son Isaac.
Abraham and Isaac. Well done.
Very good drawing.
And yeah, so the last one.
I want to pick it.
Yeah, I think I was.
Oh.
Close your eyes.
Can I have that, please? That control.
Are you picking at this one?
Can I have it, please? Thank you.
Okay, this is a tiebreaker, so whoever answered it first, there's no time, okay? I thought we. And there's no clue as well,
Stand to the
because
left.
it's easy.
Stand to the left.
Yes.
Yes, how do I do that?
Down. It's not that.
To the left. She's right balance.
So,
I just Ella can see the book. I saw it. She saw it.
Yeah.
okay, so you're not allowed to say it.
Start.
Alright, so ward.
This is
We
group.
don't-
No, it's group.
Yeah.
It's group one. It's group one.
Yes, group 2
No,
instead.
it's group one.
Okay, group 1. Yes. So I'll pass it on to Michelle. So she's going to have a short talk about heart and see what she says.
Hello. Right. Thank you, Luigi, for leading the Bible game. I realized that a lot of us really know how to draw. Good drawings and good guessings. All right. So, well, the main, as I said earlier, I picked a topic with regards to heart because it is the Hearts Month, and actually national campaign is promoting cardiovascular health NHS in the NHS website. So I thought, yeah, why not take this topic? So this afternoon we will be looking at heart health. Is our heart healthy? We will. There you go. Thank you, Tudor. This is working. Oh yeah, it's working. So is our heart healthy? And also in this presentation, we will be talking. Just have a recap of heart. What is heart? What does it do? I'm pretty sure all of us know what our heart does in the body. We will look at cardiovascular diseases. We will identify them. I will need your help in identifying them, actually. So, yeah. And then we will talk about heart attack, myocardial infarction, the signs and symptoms, the management, the treatments, and how can we prevent it from happening too soon. So first is, I just entitled it, Is Your Heart Healthy? And as I said, we'll have a recap of what the heart is. Our heart is one of the primary organ of the body. So it is the generator of our body. So if it stops functioning, our body begins to systematically shut down. So if you think of your body as a computer, the brain, your brain is both the hard drive and the processor of the computer. It's where everything's stored, all the programs, files, memories. The heart, however, is the power supply of the computer. So without the power supply, nothing else works. So the system won't turn on eventually. So it's the same with our heart. Our heart creates electrical pulses that run throughout the body, supplying energy to everything. So if you ever wonder if someone had a cardiac arrest or loss of conscious and not breathing, what do we normally do? What do we normally do if we see? What do we advise to do? CPR. Because with CPR, chest compression, we're helping to keep the heart pumping. Okay. So I've also just included some interesting facts about human heart, which is not showing, but I'll just read anyway. I think it has something to do with the software. So interesting facts about human heart. The average heart is the size of an adult fist. So it's just like this. Okay. Our heart will beat around about 115,000 times each day. And if we were to stretch out the blood vessels system, it would extend to over 60,000 miles. It's quite long. 60,000 miles inside my body, I can't imagine. Philippines is like 6,700 miles from UK. So imagine 60,000 miles. And then the next one, there is such a thing as a broken heart. Okay, it's actually a disease. We call it Takotsubo or the cardiomyopathy. So it's a proper diagnosis. It's caused by severe emotional and physical stress. And then another fact is a woman's heart beats slightly faster than a man's. Yeah. Do you agree? Right. Right. So the next one is, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, okay. Right. So, can you help me name some of the cardiovascular diseases that you know of, just on top of your head? Stroke, yeah, because that's vascular vessel, stroke. Yeah. Anything else? Heart attack, heart failure. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I'll just show first because when we say cardiovascular disease, it's cardio, it's heart, and vascular is blood vessels. So I'll show you the heart bit the heart side of disease first. I don't know if you can read it, but coronary heart disease. If I think this can lead to the heart attack when plaque in the arteries makes it hard for blood to move through them. A heart attack can happen. Valve diseases. This is when your valve gets stiff or thick and they don't open as they should do, or when your valve leaks. Oh, sorry. Aneurysm, when your aortic aneurysm, when there's a bulge on the aorta. Heart arrhythmia or rhythm problems, if your heartbeat slows down or goes too quickly. Cardiomyopathy is when your heart muscles become weak. Yeah. Some inflammations, heart failure. Yeah, I think that's quite popular as well. It's when your heart no longer works or pumps properly as they should. Some bits that's not there, congenital heart diseases, something that a person is born of. Inherited genetic conditions, again, those are examples. Vascular diseases, stroke was mentioned, vascular dementia, DVTs, or deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolisms. So those are kind of like the examples of cardiovascular diseases. As I said, this afternoon we will be focusing on the coronary heart disease, which is the myocardial infarction. I think the reason why I chose this topic is because I work in a cardiology ward, and I've seen a lot of people, not just the older people now, but actually it's happening in younger ones. We had patients, I think the youngest one I've seen so far is at the age of 25 having a proper heart attack, which is very young and very, it's alarming. That's why I feel like the church has to know or be reminded of what's causing it and how can we prevent it. So, right. We'll just do a quick quiz. This is an online one. We can answer together. And if I can ask Tudor if he can press that bit, or maybe the quiz bit. That one. Let's test our knowledge about heart disease. I've done this 5 times last night, so I'll leave it, guys, with you. Okay. So the first question is, tell me if it's a myth or fact. Number 1, your heart needs 1 straight hour of exercise every day. Myth? Okay, majority. What does it say? I'll go with majority of the answers. Myth? As in straight hour. Yes. Yeah. Continuous hours. Yeah. Who says it's a myth? And who says it's a fact? She actually didn't see this presentation. Okay. Right. So let's try myth. And let's see what it says. Right. So actually, for those who said it's a myth, it's correct. Physical activity is key, but you don't have to carve out solid hour daily to do it. At least 30 minutes of moderate activity would be fine. All right, next. I think there's 12 of these questions. Your heart stops beating when a heart attack strikes. Myth or... So who says it's a myth? And, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And who says it's a fact? 1. Okay, let's try myth. Yeah, actually it's a myth. So a lot of people, not a lot, but some people kind of missed, what they kind of mixed up cardiac arrest and heart attack. It's actually cardiac arrest when your heart stops. But heart attack, it's still beating. Although there's a blockage there, it's still beating. You can still talk, you can still walk around. So, but yeah, just having this chest pain and that. But yeah, so cardiac arrest is when your heart stops. Heart attack is, you can still walk around, but it can lead to cardiac arrest. Okay, next. Huh? It depends how bad is your cardiac your heart attack actually, and it varies. Yeah. Sometimes a person who has heart attack can last up to weeks, months. These are the ones that will get undiagnosed, and they just still manage to function properly. Yeah. Sometimes there's no symptoms as well, but we'll go into that later. Yeah. And then next, fiber can lower your cholesterol. Myth or fact? Who says it's a fact? There you go. Right, let's try fact. All right, yeah, it's a fact. It lowers your bad cholesterol and may help prevent your heart disease, like whole grains, fruits, vegetables, beans. Right, great. And then next, jaw or back pain could be a sign of heart attack. Yeah, fact. Who says it's a fact? Okay. And who says it's a myth? 1, 2. All right, let's see what it says. We'll go with, who says it's a myth again? A fact? Oh, well, it's there. It's a fact! Right, so almost, it is the most common sign of heart attack, together with the chest pain. Chest pain radiating to left arm and your back. Yeah, and those things. Yeah, next. You get high cholesterol just because of what you eat. Fat or a myth or a fact? Who says it's a fact? Yeah, and then who says it's a myth? Okay, let's try myth because majority says it. It's a myth. Right. There are many things can affect your cholesterol. It could be your genes as well. Say, yeah, next. Cut out the salt for your heart's sake. It's a fact. Okay. Right. Okay, well done. And then next. Low-dose aspirin can help you avoid another heart attack. It's a fact or it's a fact. Okay, let's see. It's a fact. It is a fact. Yeah, aspirin helps prevent blood clots. But please don't go out and buy aspirin without prescription just after these sermons, just because I said, it can lower heart attack. Use it when the doctor prescribes to you. Because, we use these ones for our patients who had heart attack already, not when they don't present with it. Next. Eat only fat-free foods to protect your heart. It's a myth. We can try myth. Yeah. Fat-free was one of the big food trends, but now the main thing is favor. Because there's a good fat and a bad fat, isn't it? So that's a myth. Next. Being obese is the biggest factor for heart disease. Yes or no? Who says it's a fact? And who says it's a myth? Okay, we'll try fact. Actually, that's a myth. Sitting on your couch may be the worst thing you can do for your heart, but actually I think it is part of the risk, but it's not the biggest risk. We've got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking. And next, we're nearly done, guys, with these. Heart disease kills more women than breast cancer. Yes or no? A fact or a myth? A fact? Okay, let's see. Yeah, you're right, guys. You're right. It's the number one killer for women. This is in United States, but it is applicable to UK as well. Next. To lower chances of heart disease, even non-drinkers should drink red wine. Oh, I think that's a straight myth. Right? Yeah, that's myth. That's a myth. If you don't drink, don't start. Okay, it's a myth. Next. Eat fish at least twice a week for a healthy heart. Myth or a fact? Ooh. Who says it's a myth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who says it's a fact? Okay, a fact. Okay. Let's see. We'll go with myth. Oh, actually, it's a fact. That's right. Have you done this quiz, brother? Because it's exactly written there. But well done, guys. Thank you very much for participating in that. So, those are just facts and myths. There are also myths that young people do not worry about heart disease. As I said, people who's we've got young people who's having heart attack at the age of 20s. So that's worrying. I take cholesterol lowering drugs, statins, so I can eat whatever I like. That's obviously not true. Yeah. Okay. So, well done, guys. Well done. We'll go with... So that's myocardial infarction, or in layman's term, heart attack. Heart attack is a serious medical emergency in which the supply of blood to the heart is suddenly blocked, usually by a clot. And the lack of blood to the heart may seriously damage the heart muscles, and it can be life-threatening. Okay. So we advise, if you're having a heart attack, call 999. But let me just show you as well in a video of the animation of what's going on in the heart when someone's having a heart attack. Tudor, if you could just play that up to 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute.
Myocardial infarction, commonly referred to as heart attack, is the sudden death of part of the heart muscle due to loss of blood flow. This occurs when one of the coronary arteries, the arteries that supply blood to the heart, is blocked. The blockage is commonly due to atherosclerosis, cholesterol plaques or fat deposits on the wall of blood vessels. As the plaque builds up, the vessel becomes narrow, restricting blood flow. Under stress, the plaque may rupture. This triggers formation of blood clot on top of the plaque, leading to complete blockage of blood flow. When this happens in the coronary artery, the downstream patch of the myocardium dies from lack of oxygen. Weakened heart muscle may disrupt electrical activity of the heart and subsequently cause cardiac arrest.
Yeah, I think that's it, yeah. So at least you've got a bit of clear picture of what's going on there when you're having a heart attack. Oh, sorry. Now, there are two types of heart attack. Oh, sorry, the writings are quite very small. But the first one is the most serious type of heart attack. We call that STEMI, or ST elevation myocardial infarction, wherein there's a long interruption with the blood supply. This is caused by total blockage. So it's a complete blockage of coronary artery, which can cause extensive damage to a large area of the heart. So most people think of when they hear the term heart attack. So I think this is what people commonly think. Like when you're having a heart attack, you're actually going to collapse and, feel unwell. But that is one of the type, and that's the main type. And there's another one which we call the non-STEMI, or the non-ST elevation myocardial infarction. This can be less serious as the STEMI, as I said, because the supply of the blood to the heart may only be partial, so it's not a complete blockage, but you'll still feel the symptoms of chest pain and that. And STEMI is still regarded as serious medical emergency. Without treatment, it can progress to a serious heart attack, which is the STEMI. So, I'm sure you won't be dealing with all these because heart attack can be diagnosed by what we call it's an ECG machine. I'll just want to show you quickly how they look like. So ST elevation on the second, that's your normal. That's how, it's not showing the light. But there's an ST elevation on the second picture, ST depression on the third and last. Yeah. It's not reflecting on our monitor. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I've already showed you risk factors. I was going to ask you if you could tell me, but anyway, it's there. Right, risk factors. I classified it as modifiable and non-modifiable. So when we say modifiable, these are the things we can change, and then the non-modifiable is something that we can't really change. So modifiable, we've got high blood pressure, unhealthy blood cholesterol, diabetes. Diabetes here. Thank you. Okay, well, you have to be more cautious of your diet. Overweight, alcohol and smoking. Hopefully, none of us are smoking or drinking alcohol. Not exercising enough. Diet, stress, and drug misuse. Actually, the drug misuse is one of the main reasons why younger adults are having heart attack using cocaine, heroin. So yeah, that's the modifiable. Non-modifiable is age. As we age, there's a high chance of us having a heart attack. It's in the genes. sex, sorry, I should have cleared this. Sex is male, or male is more prone than female. And ethnic background, I think the what's my copy? Yeah, so in the UK, people of South Asian and Black African or African Caribbean background have an increased risk of getting cardiovascular disease than the others. Right. So just a quick question, can we avoid having heart attack? Who says it's yes? Yeah? Who says no? At all? Can we avoid it? Yeah. And I just said yes as well. You know, personally, I think we can't avoid having heart attack, but we can prevent it from happening it very soon or at a younger age. Because, as we said, we've got non-modifiable factors there, age. If we live longer, and then, you know, there's always a chance for us to have heart attack. If we die of something, of a different disease, then obviously we're not going to have a heart attack. Does that make sense? Does it make sense what I'm saying? You can argue if you like. But if you're 90 years old, sorry? Okay, fair. Yep. Do you know what? Can I get back to you? Because I did. Well, fair enough, but yep. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Mhm. That's a possible. It could be because, you know, some parts of the continent or country doesn't have more information about healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, and that's why it's more prone. I'll get back to your question because I didn't include it there, but there's an explanation in a Bristol Heart Foundation website. That's where I got it from. Oh, this is in contrast with what Bristol Heart Institute is saying. Bristol Heart Foundation is saying. We can challenge it. Okay. Yep. Sorry. Well, there's an argument here that it could. Can you say again, please? Could it be because immigration coming to Europe? Yeah. Could be, but we can. Okay, last one, and for more thoughts about this later on, we can discuss it after the presentation. But okay, Richard, let's hear your thoughts. Yeah, sure. It's something we can look at, possibly. I'll dig into more research about this, but thank you for the disagreements. Now I've got an assignment. I'll get back to you next week. All right, so next, moving on, signs and symptoms of heart attack would be chest pain. This is the main signs or symptoms of heart attack. You're feeling heavy pressure, heaviness, tightness, squeezing, and sometimes it radiates to your, as I said, left arm. Sometimes it could be left and right, to your back, to your tummy, feeling lightheaded, sweating, feeling shortness of breath, feeling sick, vomiting, nausea or vomiting. Even some of our patients even doesn't know that they're having a heart attack because they said it feels like indigestion. So they just take peptic acid. Sometimes they don't feel it. It was just an incidental finding because they were complaining of vomiting. And then when the ambulance crew checked their ECG, they're having the big type of heart attack. So, really, if you're feeling any of these symptoms, church, if you're not sure, if you're suspecting that, oh, maybe I'm having a heart attack, call 999 or 111. 111 is less prioritized than 999, but they'll definitely come and do, and then check you. Sorry, they give you a. There you go. Yeah, thank you, Anna. I think there's a bit of problem with ambulances though, because they're, I think, with short of staff, they come a bit later now than they used to. But what I would definitely advise you, church, is if you're having any of these, even if you're not sure, just call them. Okay, it's better to be checked than exactly. It's better to be safe than sorry. It can only be diagnosed with what this ECG. So we don't keep ECG at home. We can't put like electrodes in ourselves. So the only thing that I can think of is phone someone who has it. Either phone the ambulance or go to the hospital, your nearest A&E. Troponin, a blood test that can also determine if you've got a heart attack, and a procedure called angiogram. So that's when they insert a catheter in your arm and to check your coronaries physically. So it's an invasive procedure. Treatments, we've got coronary angioplasty, where they put a stent in it, in the affected area, or they ballooned it. We call it. They expand the narrowed arteries. It could be a coronary artery bypass or graft, and it can also be treated with medications, antiplatelets, the aspirin, clopidogrel, and these medications that break down blood clots, such as thrombolytics and fibrinolytics. Again, they sound like it sounds like they're big words, but I think these will be the job of our medical professionals to do. But it's always nice to know what are our options for treatment. Complications of heart attack. So if we've got arrhythmias, when your heart begins to beat faster or slower, cardiogenic shock, severely when your heart muscles become severely damaged, heart rupture, where the heart muscles valves split apart, and these complications can happen quickly after the heart attack, and are a leading cause of death. So imagine if someone doesn't get diagnosed straight away, all these things will eventually happen and cause the cardiac arrest. Okay, I think we've answered this. This was like the, can we avoid heart attack? Yes, we can prevent it from happening as earlier in our early age. So prevention is very important. Smokers should quit smoking. Well, hopefully, as I said, none of us here smokes. But if they do or you do, please stop it. Lose weight if you're overweight or obese. Do regular exercises. As we don't need to do like an hour straight exercise, as what we've mentioned earlier. 30 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise is also okay. Our diet, high fiber diet, and in NHS, it's written there moderate alcohol consumption. Well, I just scrapped that and it said stop alcohol consumption completely. Not even red wine. And monitor your blood pressure. Okay, so do you have any questions at all or additionals? Well, yeah, as long as, any exercise, yeah, just to keep your body working, just to keep the heart flowing. Yeah. That's right. But I think any form of walking, as long as we don't do it excessively, is fine. That's the main thing. Anything in moderation, but not alcohol. Okay, Andrew. All right. Yes, and as Christians, just got here to develop. It's important for us to develop healthy balance of diet and exercise, because, as we know, our bodies are considered as God's temple, where the Holy Spirit dwells. Number 2, you are to eat or drink for all for the glory of God. As Christians, God commands you to be a good steward of creation, which includes our own bodies, and healthy eating affects our relationship with others. With these, give me another 10 minutes. I've got a bit more, but with myocardial infarction, is there any other questions? If you, sorry, it's heart attack. I should have changed it. Yeah. If not, I'll just have to. I kind of what do you call? In the Bible, I kind of linked it in the Bible. These heart attacks in the Bible. There you go. In the Bible, the heart is mentioned 826 times in King James Version, because obviously different versions does it differently. None of them refer to organ, but instead the scripture uses the heart as the inner man, basically. The heart is considered to be the center of our emotions, desires, passions, appetites, and it represents who we are at the center. So it's a place where around which our moral, spiritual, and intellect life revolves. So the Bible basically gives us some information about having a healthy heart. Why is an unhealthy heart so dangerous? It says in Mark 7, verse 20 to 23, what comes out of man, it is what makes him unclean. For from within out of man's heart comes evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, all those things. All these evils come from inside and make a man unclean. So that's why Solomon said in Proverbs 4 verse 23, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Spiritual heart attacks, I've just classified them in 3. It's not showing there, but the first one is spiritual hardening of the arteries. So several arteries pump life into our life, spiritually speaking, such as prayer and worship, our communication to God, Bible, God's communication to us, fellowship with one another, and serving God through helping others. So when we become hardened to these things, we begin to grow spiritually weak and eventually spiritually sick. And some have even died spiritually, which is like the separation with God. We don't like that. And the second heart attack that I've written here is spiritual heart murmur, where our heart beats fast sometimes after the things that takes away our focus on Jesus or our God. Worldly pleasures, popularity, riches. And the last one is the spiritual heart disease. So this is, in general, the cause of countless things that slowly eat away at a person's heart, like attitudes, relationships, little compromises, wrong priorities. Signs and symptoms of a spiritual heart attack: distracted, disease, numbness. We lose our spiritual equilibrium. All those things in there. Shortness of breath as well. And the last one, spiritual heart attack, is the spiritual disease caused by, I think I've done this. And the treatment is Jesus. So he called himself our great physician. 1 Samuel 61 verse 1, it says, "The Spirit of foreign Lord is on me because the Lord has anointed me to preach the good news to the poor. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release the darkness for the prisoners." So his treatment is the same, nothing sort of a transplant. Change in a person's lifestyle after surgery, medication, a daily dose of Holy Spirit, nutrition, a steady diet of scriptures, exercise, a regular routine of spiritual activities. So that's the requirement for a healthy heart. And the final result, Matthew 5 verse 8, it says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. The reward is Him." Yeah. So just the last, I would end my sermonette, hopefully, with two verses. Sorry, where is it? And I think they express what God wants to hear from us today, which is Psalms 139 verse 23 to 24. "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." And the last one is, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." I encourage each and every one of us to do a regular heart check, physically and spiritually. If symptoms persist, physically, we call the doctor, or we call the medical health professionals. Or if, we can also call the Lord for physical and spiritual health problems. Okay, thank you. All right, closing song. Do you have any favorites for the closing song so we can all sing it? Oh, there's two. What do you want? Sorry. "Come into my heart, Lord Jesus." That's a good one. I just don't know the lyrics. I think I know that, yeah. Huh? It's the same, right? Yeah, same song. All right. What's the title? Sorry. "Into my heart." Yeah. Do you know it? You do know. Can we flash the lyrics on the screen? It's called "Into My Heart." I think I know that song as well, but
Stay coming to my heart, Jesus. Out in my heart, to my heart, Jesus. Help me to stay
sure that I would like to thank Michelle for
this afternoon. It just doesn't happen, you know. It takes a lot of time and energy, and she works full time. So I think we should all be saying thank you very much for the effort you put into producing that for us today, and for an enjoyable, very enjoyable drawing exercise earlier. Thank you. Because, you know, as a church family, what we do together and the things that we enjoy together are every bit as important in many ways as our worship, because it draws us together in fellowship. And our afternoon meetings are a great source of joy to all of us. And please come next week for the International Day that Anna is organising, which I'm sure will also be a great blessing. Before we go home, let's ask God to bless us this week. Dear Father in heaven, we thank you for your heart of love which reaches out to all of us just where we are. And we ask that as we go forward from today into this coming week, that we will share your love with those that we meet, and especially with our family and with our friends. Please lead us to a closer relationship with you, we ask, Lord, for Jesus' sake. Amen.